Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today I've got for you guys 10 different fragrances that are way cheaper than much more expensive hyped fragrances that people really want. So if you're after one of those fragrances, you can actually get one of these and save yourself sometimes up to like 80% over the original. All of the fragrances I talked to you guys about here today are going to be linked in the description below, and I'm also going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff in today's video as well. I picked up a lot of stuff this year that I was saving to do giveaways for the end of the year, and I kind of screwed my timing up, so I feel like I'm going to be giving stuff away through the first half of next year also. Yeah! All right, let's get things kicked off. The first fragrance that you need to know about is this one. It's called Dior Sport, and it's from Maison Alhambra. And this is one of those ones where it's probably fairly obvious what this is an alternative to. This smells really similar to Dior Homme Sport. Get it? Dark Dior Homme. It's close enough. And what you may be asking yourself is the same thing I asked myself before I bought this one. Which Dior Homme Sport is it an alternative to? Because there are a bunch of different versions of Dior Homme Sport that have changes, some small, some large. Well, this one is most similar to current day Dior Homme Sport. So depending on where you look, that may be listed as Dior Homme Sport 2021 or 2020, but you know which one we're talking about, the newest one. And it's actually extremely well done when you consider the price point, because this thing is cheap. When I bought my bottle, it was $21 and change, basically 22 bucks, and it has actually gotten cheaper. So yay. But still, I barely paid over 20 bucks. At JOMASHOP nowadays, it's $18.99, so it's dropped by a few dollars on their website. It's got that same kind of fresh, lightly spicy, woodsy scent profile, just like Dior Homme Sport. Extremely easy to wear, very versatile. The quality is great. The only drawback here is the performance is not as good as Dior Homme Sport. It's not that it's apocalyptically weak or anything like that, but you may want to do a couple extra sprays. And since it's under 20 bucks, who cares? Do an extra 20. The next fragrance is this one, the Envy of FOMO, which is a fragrance that is a clone of this one back here, Gucci Envy. Am I pointing to the right? Back here, Gucci Envy. Back here, Gucci Envy. There are two of them actually. I love that fragrance. It's got a great classic masculine feel to it, which actually still works today. Although it's probably going to appeal more to guys that are like middle-aged and older. I wouldn't imagine too many younger guys reaching for it because it doesn't have a lot of sweetness to it. But it is just absolutely banging if you're looking for a fragrance that has a great gentlemanly scent profile that you could wear easily to the office, to more formal occasions, or casually. And of the FOMO fragrances that have been done so far, this one is my favorite for obvious reasons. Gucci Envy is one of my favorites of all time. I'm a little biased when it comes to that. I really like it. And I'm gonna be giving away a bottle of this one, still sealed, along with a couple other things to come. I told you guys, I've been stocking up. So if you want Gucci Envy, you've gotta check that out, because Envy is crazy expensive nowadays, and really the only place you're gonna find it is eBay. From there, we hop on over to this one, French Avenue After Effect. Of course, French Avenue is part of Fragrance World, so depending on where you look, maybe this will be listed as Fragrance World, but it's the same thing. And this is another one of those fragrances, kind of like Dark Dior Sport over here, where you look at it, you know right away what it is, right? So this is a clone of Side Effect by Initio Parfum. And I do have to point out that Fragrance World has another Side Effect clone, which is this one right here. See the similarity? This one is called Intro, Initio. It's called Intro Aftermath. And I do have to say that between these two, this one is better. So if you're cross-shopping these for whatever reason, because you see they're both clones of the same fragrance, alternatives to the same fragrance, done by the same brand, if this one is cheaper, you might think, well, I'll just get that one. It's probably the same thing. This one is better. This is noticeably nicer. The quality is better. The projection is better, longevity is better, everything is better. So if you're wondering between Aftermath, After Effect, get After Effect. And the difference between the two in terms of price is typically not that much, and actually sometimes this one is less. So yeah, just don't even bother with Aftermath. It has that same sweetness, that attention-grabbing, almost syrupy sweetness off the top, just like Side Effect. Great performance, just an overall banger of a scent. Let's go with one of my newest fragrances next, Mashrabia from Lattafa. This one's really interesting. The fragrance bottle has like a rubbery side, well, 2 rubbery sides that have little icons all over it, essentially, little tiles with designs on them. And then it has the name of the fragrance in Arabic and English on either side. Feels nice and heavy in the hand. And this is a clone of By Kilian's Smoking Hot. Now, I did a review of this one on my extra channel, Extra Gents Scents, if you want to check that out. But one thing with this fragrance, it's pretty strong and sweet. The opening, I think, smells absolutely fantastic. It has this apple shisha tobacco vibe going on, a little bit spicy, very sweet, a little sugary, attention grabbing to the nines, right? This is the type of fragrance when you spray it on in fall and winter time, you're just like, oh, amazing quality, just an absolutely killer fragrance. But you gotta be careful. I sprayed on a lot, okay? A little too much. And if you do that, it does not smell nice. So be aware of that. All of that like apple, sugary, spicy tobacco pop that you get in the opening, if you spray too much, it gets overloaded. It just ends up like being way too aggressive. But as long as you keep it reined in a little bit, this stuff is just absolutely a 10 out of 10. Let's go next with this one, Moscow Mule. And this is another one. Take a look at the presentation. You know what time it is. This is a clone of Blue Moon Ginger Dash from By Kilian. And to be fair, Ginger Dash has not gotten the same level of hype as Angel Share, but not many fragrances have. And this one does a really, really good job of capturing what Ginger Dash is. Now, that being said, Ginger Dash is kind of a shower gel, zingy, fresh blue scent, like a summery, ozonic blue scent, not like a deep, sweet blue scent or anything. So a lot of people are gonna love that because it's just an easygoing spring, summer, daytime fragrance, right? Just an easy wear. But other people are gonna be like, it's pretty boring, man. It's not really doing much for me. So you may fall on one side or the other, but if you're looking for right now the best alternative to that fragrance, it is this one. And also I'm gonna be giving away a bottle of that too, so here it is, there it goes. Next up we got this. This is Armaf, the new one, King. Or depending on where you look, it might be Armaf Checkmate King. Now, one word of warning with this fragrance, and it's another one that I talked about on my extra channel, but the first bottle that I got of this, it was busted up. And it's this little piece right here, this gold piece, like the collar of the bottle, it was snapped all the way off. And this does have basically like a leverage point right here, right? Where if you took this and you did that, it would snap this piece right here, and then the whole bottle is gonna go everywhere, which is what happened while it was in transit. And actually when I open this, it does feel like, yeah, it's kind of a weak point right there. Now, I would imagine the overwhelming majority of people that are gonna buy this fragrance are never gonna have that issue. It's not gonna be a big deal, but it would not surprise me if more of these bottles got kind of busted up compared to, you know, any of these. Not the same thing at all, but Xerjoff, their old bottles, their old bottle style, that's one of the reasons they went away from it to their new bottle style, is their old bottles kept cracking in transit. Just one of those things where it can be totally safe most of the time, but when it starts getting jostled around while it's going from one place to another and shipping, weird things happen. So enough of that story time. What is this? How does it smell? So this one is a clone of Scandal Absolute, which is my favorite release of the year, new release. Absolutely fantastic. It has Mirabelle Plum, Chestnut, and Sandalwood. A really good compliment puller for fall and winter time. It smells amazing. A little bit similar to, you know, stuff like Stronger With You, The Most Wanted, things kind of in that style. That warm, kind of gourmand, sexy, sweet scent profile. This is a clone of that, and it is really, really good. It is as close as you're gonna get right now to that fragrance. And yes, Armaf does have Odyssey Mandarin Sky, which is a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. So it's like, well, they got 2 Scandal clones, but this one is better. For me, side by side, Mandarin Sky and this one, I'm taking this one. And this does come across definitely more of that wintertime scent profile when you compare it side by side with Odyssey Mandarin Sky. It's great, great stuff. Let's get a little weird with this one. This is Versace Rouge from Maison Alhambra. And yeah, probably know what that is, right? It's Versace, Eros, Flame. And I know you would probably think to yourself, well, what do I need a clone of AOS Flame for? It's not that expensive, which is true. You can probably find AOS Flame for about 60 bucks for 100 mil, maybe 55 if you get a tester or if it's marked down a little bit. I guess this means marked down. Whereas Versace Rouge is gonna run you a ripping like 16 bucks. It's a little bit above 1/4 the price of AOS Flame. So yeah, basically this one is gonna be for those guys who want that versatility that AOS Flame has, you know, a year-round fragrance, daytime or nighttime, but maybe they just don't have a whole lot of money to spend, or they just want something really cheap to throw into an order along with everything else. And this one is surprisingly really well done. It gets the essence of AOS Flame almost spot on. Again, your drawback is maybe gonna be slightly lowered performance in comparison to AOS Flame, but really, really cheap. So again, you can kind of overlook that a little bit. And Maison Alhambra is a little bit more hit or miss than Lattafa. Lattafa, most of the time, they come out with stuff that's really well done. Occasionally, to be fair, they do have stuff that's not, but they have a higher hit percentage compared to Maison Alhambra. Maison Alhambra, a little bit more affordable, but with that, yeah, they have the occasional fragrance that's just not good. This one is good though. Very, very well done. The next fragrance you need to know is an extremely affordable one from Fragrance World, and it is called An Evening Twilight. Now, this is an alternative to a Gucci fragrance, a very expensive Gucci fragrance called a Glaming Night, which that fragrance is gonna run you $384 at full retail. This one is under 20. So little difference in terms of pricing. Although to be fair, there are some places where you can find this for slightly above 20, but still it's a little bit different than 384. And this one is a great alternative to a Glaming Night. Now that being said, I did get one other in this line, and you should stay away from that one. I'm just warning you in case you go and you see this one and you're like, oh cool, that's interesting. Oh, look, there's another one. And that one is called the Haunting Blend. Kind of a cool name, sort of, but also it's forewarning a little bit. Haunting Blend. Yeah. So that one's a clone of the Voice of the Snake. And when you first spray on the Haunting Blend, it smells like acetone. Legitimately, it punches you in the nose hard. So if you spray it on and you go, oof, you're in for a bad time. It does get a little better as it dries down, but that opening is wretched. So stay away from that. A Glaming Night though, that one has notes of cinnamon, vetiver, and patchouli, really simplified note breakdown. It's another one better for fall and winter time. Unisex scent, I think it leans a little bit masculine. So it's kind of woodsy, earthy, has a nice sweetness to it that's not overwhelming, not sugary or anything like that. Just like a light sweetness that kind of wafts through. You get a nice warm cinnamon in there. Again, not overly sweetened or anything like that. Nice fragrance, classy, easy to wear, especially during the evening. All right, a big one up next, really big. It is Lfas The Kingdom. Now this one is an alternative to Le Male Elixir, and it is extremely well done. Again, about 30 bucks, slightly less. And now I'm curious if I paid more for this, if the price has already dropped. It's $1 more expensive now. Ooh, saved $1. So yeah, it smells very similar to Le Male Elixir, extremely well done. Like this stuff is absolutely fantastic for that price point, especially when you consider Le Male Elixir is not available at an affordable price, even at discounters. It gets that honeyed sweetness. It has the performance. It lasts a long time. It projects very well. Extremely, extremely, extremely well done. There is another alternative to Le Male Elixir, and that's Rayhan's Elixir, which is this one right here. And this is not bad, but I will say that I think the Kingdom is better. The Rayhan is not as strong as far as performance goes, so you're gonna get more projection, more longevity out of this. And I think that Lfas The Kingdom just gets that honeyed aspect a little bit closer. Both are good, but I would look for this one mainly if it were cheaper than the Kingdom. You know, it'd be like the affordable alternative, but this is actually more expensive than that right now at JOMASHOP, so I think you just gotta go for that one. All right, last but not least, we got North Stag 4, and this smells really similar to Afternoon Swim. from Louis Vuitton. And also, gonna give one of these away. This one has like a candied, sugary sweetness to it, a lot of citrus in there, fantastic orange note off the top, absolutely killer for spring, summer, this stuff. Oh, another really high quality fragrance, helps you stand out against most other designer scents out there. And it actually has pretty good performance, all things considered, for this type of scent. It lasts a long time, it projects well. It is an extrait to parfum, so I guess you should expect that, but still. Usually when you say something is like a citrusy fragrance, you automatically assume that it's gonna be kind of weak, not really project or anything like that, but no. And yeah, note breakdown wise, this is basically not much of anything because they have it on the box here and it says notes, mandarin orange, Sicilian orange, bergamot. So basically, do you like citrus? If you do, you will love that fragrance. If you don't like citrus, you still might actually like it. It's pretty good, really good actually. So there are the fragrances, guys, 10 different ones, and all of these are extremely well done. For the price point, they are insane buys. Some of them are a little bit more pricey than others, but for the most part, you're looking at, 30 bucks and under. The couple outliers, like this one is more expensive where it's new, and kind of same thing here. All right, let's do the giveaway. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. I didn't really think this through. I realize now that I've got a couple of these that are more for spring and summer, but when that time comes, you'll have them. So in order to be entered into this giveaway, as usual, you have to just like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave a comment below. In the comment, let me know which of these 3 is most interesting to you. Don't worry, whoever wins, you'll get all 3, but just so that, there's comments to actually be able to pick from. Give me at least a couple weeks, because usually what I try to do is batch together giveaways that I can list like 3 or 4 winners all at once. And I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, put it up on the community tab of the YouTube channel. And if you're the winner, just get in touch with me. I will ship these out to you. Put those over there. So there we go, guys. Thanks so much for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. Good luck, guys.